Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Just Gaming Tingz Podcast. We're bringing you an all queer perspective on video games, gaming news, and nerdy stuff. We are live every Saturday on twitch.tv/justgamingtings at 1 p.m. EST. And these episodes are available later on in the day on YouTube and your favorite podcast services. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Today, in this new year, new podcast,
Yes. Happy New Year, everybody.
I'm here with Koga,
Hello.
Ruby, and I am Smithland.
Hi.
Hi.
Here we are. Oh my
We're
god.
here.
Episode 13. January
We
2nd,
we made it
2021.
through 2020. Can you believe?
Look at us. Look at us. Lucky
Yes,
number. Yeah, lucky number to kick off the year. I love that.
I love
It's
that.
exciting. It's fun. And it's great. You know?
You know?
Like Spin said, we do have some just headlining things on this week. Not a lot because obviously it's the holidays, so we have to dig deep to find some stuff out there to talk about. But I'm gonna kick off our first story of the day. So Koei Tecmo takes down EU and US sites following cyber attack. This is from Games Radar. Thank you, Games Radar. A cyber attack on Koei Tecmo has seen its English language websites temporarily offline. In a statement, the publisher confirmed it had taken down both its European and North American websites and forums as a precautionary measure after its servers were hacked on Christmas Day. How dare! Right now, the publisher does not believe any financial information has been compromised, but it did confirm that the information may be at risk. That the information that may be at risk includes account names, encrypted passwords, and addresses. Not this. At the time of writing, it's unclear if that means email addresses or full postal ones. Though this remains unconfirmed at this time, Famitsu send help. Further intimates IPs, usernames, dates of birth, and country of origin may also be at risk. And reports that information gleaned from the hack is already for sale on the black market. I hate it here.
Yeah.
Uh, that's just the unfortunate reality of modern technology that literally any website that has your information at any point in time may just be like, whoops, we got hacked.
And like hackers don't even take Christmas off.
Right.
This happened on Christmas.
They, they said, let's cause drama, let's cause chaos. And that's the sad thing. It's like,
Yeah.
it reminds me of like there was like a huge scandal a few years ago with like PlayStation because they did something like that, I think around Christmas as well, where like a lot of people's information got compromised and like, money and their payment options got compromised, all of that stuff. So it's very spooky. I'm glad that they immediately took everything down and they were like, listen, we are not about to troubleshoot. We're just shutting the whole thing down. Put it all in the garbage and then we'll figure it out. I hate that. I hope that this is a wake-up call for other developers and stuff to make sure that their shit is as safe as can be. Because even last year there was like a huge Nintendo leak that like they had. It wasn't like people's personal information, but it was like developers' personal information, like leaked like prototypes for games and stuff like that. So I just hope that people are more careful, especially if your website involves having my personal information, such as my address. and my credit card, my PayPal, all of the above. And our very own Mostly Bad Fly in chat is saying, make sure to enable your 2-second verifications. 2-step verifications, y'all do it. What do you think, Koga?
I definitely agree with doing a 2-step verification, because I usually do that, whether it be usually you have to go to my phone, so prefer to not go to my email if possible, and I have like some generator that it just generates randomly numbers that only goes to my phone. But companies have to definitely be more careful about that, because unfortunately people are going to do that. Now luckily I've never really had a big case with this being an issue on my end, except for like back when it was like back in the PS3 days and Sony got hacked, and the whole like network was down for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, or something along those lines. But it's like, if you're going to have to where people can have their information on your website, you have to have it secure as secure as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And them doing it on Christmas, I don't know, maybe they thought that they could have more time to get more stuff since people might be off on Christmas. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
maybe so.
Probably. But it's unfortunate that, there's going to be, technology can be used for a lot of good things, but there's going to be people who are going to use it for like some of the worst. And this is one of those cases.
Right.
How about you, Spin?
Yeah, like I definitely think that just shutting everything down was the way to go. and I am glad they handled it like this. Because I know that with some places like that have big hacks like this, like they don't like the process for letting people know that their information got stolen is just so like sometimes they'll just like send you like an email.
Right.
That'd be like, oh, your information may have been compromised.
Maybe.
And like not do
allegedly
about it. Like not tell you what information. So I'm glad that this seems to be like being handled better.
Yeah.
That kind of thing is so scary. And like I have personally experienced like stuff like this sometimes. Like I've had that's why I have like 2-factor authentication on like everything now.
Right.
It's like back in the day when I didn't, like I've had like one of my accounts like broken into, and like people like charging stuff on my card. I've had,
not that.
Yeah, and it's so scary because like you see everything going through and you're just like, oh my god, it's not me. It's so spooky. It's so spooky. And like even earlier last year when Animal Crossing came out, like before I had even gotten the game, there was like this big thing where people were trying to like hack into people's Nintendo accounts to like get I don't know, to get like extra Animal Crossing stuff or like get Nintendo Online through their account.
Ew.
And like I had people trying to hack into my Nintendo account constantly. Like I had to keep changing my password and like
that's wild.
It was a whole situation. Like I kept there was one day where I got like 9 emails in a row of like there's been suspicious activity on your Nintendo account. Is this login you? Like
not that.
And they didn't get in, but like it was like 9 different emails that where Nintendo was like, huh.
I hate that.
That was a spooky experience, but like I just kept changing my password and eventually it was fine. But like definitely this is like a wake-up call to like, I mean, hackers don't even take Christmas off, so like just secure your stuff.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Please keep our information safe.
Yeah. And if you think your information might have been like stolen in this, just like now you know, change your passwords.
Yeah. If you're on the Koei Tecmo forums and anything of the sort,
change your passwords.
Good luck. Yeah. But
yeah, we do have our next story if you want to go ahead and get into that.
Sure. All right, so there's a bug in the Epic Game Store launcher which raises CPU temps on some PCs. This is an article that was made by PC Gamer. Following reports that the Epic Game Store launcher was gobbling up CPU resources and as a result, raising system temperatures to some PCs, Epic has issued a patch. However, it is not a full solution, so you might see some elevated CPU usage and temps when the launcher is idle. This issue gained traction on a Reddit post by the user Neon Carbon, who claimed that disabling the launcher had a dramatic effect on his AMD Ryzen 7 5800X.
Not this.
The user claimed it dropped from 50 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius. Others in the thread made similar claims.
Yeah, it was like it's a huge difference.
Yeah. I was not aware of that because I don't really use Epic Game Store, but now that this article came up, my roommate has mentioned that she was playing games and it's like lagging a little bit more this past week, and she does use a Ryzen CPU, so that might actually be why. Personally, I don't really use Epic Game Store that much unless I'm getting a free game and then I like leave it. So I personally haven't had any issues, but I do hope this is something that they fix because people on PC, we do not like it when we have random resources being taken up that affects performance. That means my frame rates are lower, and y'all know how I am about my frame rates. don't like that. And then CPU temperatures, you definitely want to keep those as low as possible. Luckily it's winter, so it shouldn't be as bad, but if it was summertime, that wouldn't be too good. So
yeah,
but yeah, at least they're finding some ways to get around that, but they need to fix that like as soon as possible because that's not something you want happening on people's computers. Though people normally should have good airflow on their PC, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But to go from that's like 13 degrees, it's not something you really would want to be happening. So I don't know. What do you think about the issue, Spin? I don't use Epic Game Store at all, I don't think.
I don't really use the Epic Game Store that much. I know they do have like the free games, but like I mainly associate it with Fortnite, and I'm just like
I'd rather not.
Like I'd rather not. Like it I just some of the differences that people were noticing, like further on in the article, like it talks about like people were noticing differences of up to like 20 degrees Celsius, and I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit temperatures because I'm an American, but that is, I know that's an even bigger difference in Fahrenheit, and
that's a lot.
Huge. Like for one application to be making your computer 20 degrees Celsius hotter, there's got to be something going like drastically there,
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they're like focusing resources on fixing the issue, and that there is a patch there, but it looks like they're gonna still like have their work cut out for them to try to fix this, because there's no good reason that it should be making your computer like a full 20 degrees Celsius hotter. That's so weird.
Especially a launcher, like why?
Yeah.
Like how did this happen to begin with? Like like can we not do that? I personally don't. I only use the Epic Games launcher to redeem games that they do for free, like usually every week, and they have been doing like daily stuff for like the last few weeks. So yeah, but it's actually funny because I was just talking about this with them off stream, about how they have like a little coupon situation, and I was tempted to purchase a game on there, but I was like, but do I want this game to be on Epic? Like, do I want for it to be stuck on the Epic library, when I could get it on Steam or anywhere else? And I'm still kind of looking at it. I'm like, but it's a really good deal. but do I want it? Do I want it that badly? Do I want to? So I don't think. Ugh, yeah, stuff like this makes me be like, yeah, maybe maybe not. Maybe I'll wait for a better sale down the line.
Yeah, so, I mean, because overall, it's not, from what I've experienced, a really bad launcher. It's just that I would prefer to have my games all usually in one spot. So I usually just go to Steam anyway. But if it's like something that's exclusive to it and there's a deal, that I'll go to a launcher that has it like the best deal that I can get for it. Because why pay more for the same thing?
Yeah.
But you have to make sure that you don't have things like this happening, because I'll pay an extra $10 for cool attempts. I'm just saying. So
right. I don't need my computer to explode on this day. It's really not something that I, envisioned for 2021. Not something that I, yeah, not something that I want to put on my vision board, on my resolutions. It wasn't really something that I was thinking about. So, maybe I'll skip on this. Just get it $10 more expensive on Steam.
Yeah, I feel like it's worth the extra $10 to, not have your computer explode.
Yeah, maybe. We're just, spitballing here. I think this is just a theory, really.
And personally, my goal for 2021 is to have less explosions in my life and in my streaming life, especially, than I did in 2020. So,
right. So yeah, let's not.
2020, I'm at one explosion. So I would ideally like to bring those 2021 numbers down to 0 explosions.
Yeah. To clarify, it wasn't an Epic Games related explosion.
No, it was my own.
It was a soap making explosion, because turns out science sometimes she will get you.
Sometimes science will get you. Sometimes that science she'll get you. Oh my god.
In other news, cuter news, less explosive news.
We have a story from The Verge about a modder making a Nintendo 64 that's smaller than the original console's controller.
I love that.
And I did see a picture of this, and it's super cute. It's very small.
Let me try to pull it up.
Let me go ahead and read a little bit of an excerpt from this article. Taking an old console and making it as small as possible is a well-established tradition in the modding community, and there may be a new victor in the race to shrink the Nintendo 64 as far as possible. G-Man Mods has cut down an N64 to the point where it's smaller than a GameCube controller and only slightly bigger than the cartridges it takes. This isn't an emulator. This is an actual Nintendo 64 that was cut, soldered, and otherwise modded to fit into a handheld package, complete with screen, battery, and controls. The joysticks are from a Nintendo Switch, chosen for their diminutive size. At 3.5 inches, the screen is smaller than what you'd be used to when playing an N64, and it has a resolution of 320 by 240. Making up the shell are 2 different plastics, with the back being more heat resistant, an important consideration when you're using a motherboard designed to be in a roomy home console. So this is just like a cute little thing that I wanted to talk about a bit, because I saw it and I was like, oh my god, I want one.
Yeah, for those of you watching this on Twitch and on the YouTube version, I'm actually pulling up footage of this while we speak of it, and it's so cute.
So cute. It's like just barely bigger than the actual N64 cartridge, which is kind of funny. And like I'm a person where I'm like a handheld gamer first and foremost. Like my first console was a Game Boy Color. Like I love my Switch. I only play my Switch in handheld mode pretty much, except if I'm streaming. Like I am primarily a handheld gamer first and foremost, and I never actually had an N64. So if I was gonna have an N64 at some point in my life, like I would love for it to be like a cute little handheld. I just thought it was just so adorable. And I just think it's a really cool like achievement to be able to make something like that was in a much bigger package, to be able to be actually functional and work like this. I just think that's so cool. Ruby, what did you think about it?
as cute as it looks, I've always had a gripe with like handhelds and screen size, because the only handheld that I've purchased was the PSP, but I always, every time I would play it, I would be like, this would be so much better if I could plug it into the TV. Because let's be real, if you take, especially like most handhelds, you take them outside and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the beach with my parents, and I'm gonna bring in my PSP. Guess what? The sun is gonna block everything, and you're not gonna be able to see shit. So you usually are indoors anyway when you play the games. I can't play them in the car or a train or a bus because I get motion sickness. So handhelds to me are just like, I'm gonna play them at home, I might as well just put them on the TV. Like, I only play my Switch in handheld mode if I absolutely need to, like, or if I'm too lazy to set up my Switch, because I always have my consoles set up like through my streaming setup anyway. So I'm like, oh, I'm too lazy, let me just pull up the Switch from the dock and I'll just play it a little bit from there and it's fine. But usually I do prefer to see it on like a TV sized situation. So it's, so it's better for me. But it's adorable. I will say that. It's really cute. But the screen just looks too tiny for me. I couldn't. I would need like a Switch handheld sized situation. But yeah, what do you think, Koga?
I think it looks pretty nice. I am curious on like the button layout. I'm like, I guess what's the right stick? I guess would have been for the C buttons and how that would work. But I think it is cool that someone managed to, pretty much make it portable, and for that size, it was very portable, not like something big. But yeah, I'm not really. I've usually been a person who's more about bigger screens. So like when it was like we had the PSP and then they made the PSP Slim, and I'm like, I want the fat one, the bigger screen. And I was the same way with like the 3DS when they made it was a small, which I got it like the first day it came out. Then they made the XL. I was like, that's the one I want.
Right.
But so I mean, I probably wouldn't get it, but I definitely do like it. Like I did like the Nintendo 64 a lot. I know some people didn't for some reason. I'm not sure why. But I thought it was great, and so. But it says, see, 320 by 240. That's a little bit far back for me. But, I mean, I think that was about what it was originally, so that should be expected. But I like it. I probably wouldn't get it because I could probably, like, play it better potentially on my phone. But I still think it's nice that someone was able to actually, able to do that. So it's still something very cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think this is such, like, a cool achievement that this modder managed to do.
Yeah, and you also like do it legally, because if we were to do it on our phone, it would have to be an emulated situation, and with that, it's literally like the cartridges are like, it's so cute to me how like it's as wide as the cartridge. I'm like, I love that. Like that's to me that's kind of cute. So I think this could be a good solution to people who were hoping for a mini N64. This could be like a little.
I can't wait for the mini N64.
We'll get into our 2021 predictions / wish list, but that would be a cute one for them to make if they were to make another mini console again.
I do have one question for y'all before we move on.
Yes.
Are there any like retro consoles that you would like to see get this treatment?
Ooh.
Saturn. Drink. I don't know. Probably a bunch of the ones that just have a bunch of games that we can't get no more. Like.
Oh yeah, mini Dreamcast would be.
Dreamcast.
Yeah.
So cute.
I would say Mega's mini Sega CD 32X, but I don't know how well those would do because those didn't do too well when they originally came out.
Collectors would probably be all over them these days, I would assume.
I hate it. They made the game so expensive.
Ugh.
But I would honestly like to see them happen. Most definitely for like Saturn, and make sure that you could play the Japanese games on there because they got a lot of good games over there that we didn't get over here. And then maybe make games like Panzer Dragoon Saga a lot easier to obtain, because go on eBay, you're looking like $800,000. But then also Dreamcast, and then maybe just I don't know any other system that they just didn't do, but most definitely like Saturn and Dreamcast for me.
I'm trying to think. For me, I've always been. You know what? I would like. I don't know if this would count as like a mini or whatever it would be, but I would love if there was like the ultimate Nintendo handheld where you could get stuff from all the way back from the Game Boy days all the way up to like the new 3DS, and it would run all of them. You could get them all legally. It could be a situation like xCloud, for example, where you could like play them anywhere. You have like a little catalog that you can choose from. A lot of the interesting titles are first parties anyway, so Nintendo would be easily able to do some very good, like to have a really good library. And they have a really good relationship with third parties too, so they could easily do stuff like that. Because even for their NES and SNES minis, they had like Final Fantasy on there, and they had third party situations on there. So I can see them. I could see them doing something like that. I think it would be really nice. Like the ultimate handheld for someone who like I only really played Game Boy Color because my cousin had it, so I would play whatever he had. It would be a nice way for me to kind of catch up on a lot of things that I missed from those eras. With that same thing, I it wouldn't be terrible if there was a PlayStation 1 where it's like PlayStation 1 through maybe 3 at most, because, 4 and 5 would be too much to ask of a handheld to be able to run. But at least like more of a retro moment, if you will. It kind of hurts me talking about PlayStation as a retro already. But it is. It was the 90s. It's retro now. Ugh.
oh, you think that's bad when you really think about it? The Xbox 360 and PS3 are retro too. 15 years ago.
Is that considered retro?
I mean, back then we considered NES and what all them retro. I mean, I'm sorry, we get no.
We
and
are.
That's just the way it is.
This is fine. This is fine.
Retro games.
What about
I just
you,
kind of had
Spin?
a thought. I don't know exactly how practical this would be, but just to see it done would be really cute. Mini Wii with tiny little keychain size Wiimotes.
Unplayable, but cute.
I don't know how practical it would be, but just like a tiny little Wiimote, like little keychain size Wiimote. Like tennis.
I love that.
It would be adorable.
Okay, Wikipedia is considering retro gaming something that oh my god, I just missed it. Hold on. Retro gaming is anything from systems that are obsolete or discontinued. That's usually a good.
So like 3DS is retro.
Yeah. Like if it's not like in the market, if it's been discontinued, it's technically considered. It can be considered retro gaming because it's it's not on sale. It's not a thing that is considered modern. So is the
Xbox One X retro now? Because they discontinued that like pretty fast.
Maybe so.
Oh no.
Maybe so. Although that doesn't really do much, because I know there was like I don't remember if it was the Master System or something like that just got discontinued like last year in Brazil or something like that, because like they still had it on sale because that console was so popular over there. I think it was the Master System. So I don't know if I would count that as non-retro. Yeah, but it's basically anything that's like a collectible item right now, or anything that's considered old school. So, yeah. We're just getting old. It's fine. This is fine.
At least we're still
Right? Yeah, at least, we're still here, and we're doing some stuff.
we're doing so many things.
So many things with a Z. Well, who's also doing things, or in this case just finished doing some things? The folks responsible for the Resident Evil movie just wrapped filming. We have a little tidbit from Game Informer. The Resident Evil movie reboot is one step closer to being ready for its 2021 premiere. In a tweet posted on the official Resident Evil movie page, the filming has finally been completed. The reboot was announced in 2017, and despite 2020 being an unprecedented year and particularly harsh on both the cinema and video games industries, the Resident Evil movie is still going strong. In previous months, the ensemble cast was announced and exciting set photos emerged. Additionally, a release date was revealed, with the movie slated for a fall 2021 launch. According to director Joannes Roberts, send help. Anytime I pronounce anything, send help. The reboot film looks to draw on the horrifying atmosphere and settings of the video game franchise. Quote, "With this movie, I really wanted to go back to the original first two games and recreate the terrifying, visceral experience I had when I first played them, whilst at the same time telling a grounded human story about a small dying American town that feels both relatable and relevant to today's audiences." Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm interested when I read that description, because it's like, this might hit a little close to home. Especially after 2020.
Right. It is a post-apocalyptic, a virus. It might be too on the nose, Capcom.
But, like for all of like March and April, or what was it? Contagion was number 1 on Netflix. So maybe that's what people want.
Is it?
I don't know.
If we're all vaccinated and everything is fine, knock on wood, by fall 2021, is that too soon for us to be like, oh, remember that? Remember the pandemic we just got over? I don't know. I don't know if I want this to be relatable, Mr. Roberts. I don't know if I want to relate to anything Resident Evil. But they have a lot going on. They have like the Netflix series that's coming. That's like not live action. I think it's like CGI. So that's cool. I'm excited. I'm just excited to see what they're doing with it, especially if it's even like slightly inspired by the games, especially the first two games. Yeah, I'm very, very intrigued. Do we know like characters that are going to be a part of it, as far as like, is this going to be Chris? Is this going to be Jill? Is this going to be Claire? Who's going to be in it? I'm very, very curious. But other than that, yeah, right, we consult. Okay, so I just found it. So there is going to be Robbie Amell is playing Chris Redfield. Ooh. I'm intrigued. Oh wait, Avon Jogia, I'm so sorry. He was he had long hair. He was in Victorious. He's playing Leon. That's exciting. Okay, so for now, I see Hannah John Kamen from Ant-Man as Jill Valentine, Robbie Amell from Upload as Chris Redfield, Tom Hopper from The Umbrella Academy as Wesker, Avon Jogia, I'm so sorry, from Zombieland, Double Tap, and Victorious as Leon Kennedy, and Neil McDonough, I'm so sorry, from Yellowstone as William Birkin. This is gonna be interesting.
It seems like it's going to be like a lot more based on the story of the games than the Paul W. Sanderson, Mila Jovovich Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know that was like a lot of fans of the game kind of saw those movies and were just like, "Ooh, there's this new character."
Yeah. Oh, and Maze
it was-
Runner's Kaya Scodelario is gonna be Claire Redfield. Cute. All the girlies are gonna
Excited
be
about
there. I'm excited.
I'm kind of excited about this. Koga, what did you think about it? Did you have any opinion?
I'm not gonna get my hopes too high yet, but hopefully it's good. I do hope that it is.
That
So
it-
I have to wait and see, because unfortunately we're still in a time where they can make a video game movie and still somehow mess it up. You know, like they did Monster Hunter. I mean, it's not maybe about the same person, but I don't know. It's just that I was hoping that after we had Sonic the Hedgehog and Pokemon, was it Detective Pikachu, or kind of just, okay, they can do this, and then it's like, uh-oh. So we'll see. I'll give it a fair shot and see. So hopefully it's not, a mess.
I forgot that
Right.
Monster Hunter was a thing that came out. We talked
Yeah,
about it on the show, but I was like, oh, that's happening in a distant future.
Brain.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot that was a thing.
It's not like we're going to movies.
It's scoring a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 69 nice audience score. Still, wouldn't say it's up there. I don't know if we would recommend.
I don't know. It's must see.
Yeah. Definitely
Especially not.
definitely not in the top 10 2020 movies. But yeah, I fully agree with Koga. I don't want to have high expectations. I am excited that it seems that it comes from the perspective of a fan, but I feel like they always say that they're fans. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, we'll see. But
I'm more optimistic than I thought I would be.
yeah, for sure. I'm curious to see how they're going to tie in the story, like for the adaptation, how they're going to kind of tie in the stories, because they are tied in sort of in the games. Like there's references, there's letters, there's situations going around in both games that kind of reference the other. But I'm excited to see it like in action and how it's all gonna turn out. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. Just like I am with 2021. Segue. We love that. Yeah, because we figured we would take this opportunity, since it's the first episode of the year, and we could talk about games that we're looking forward to this year, our most anticipated 2021 releases, things that we're excited to stream, predictions, wish lists, trying to manifest things to happen. Yeah, and then we can look back at this podcast for the first podcast of 2022 and see what we got right and what we got wrong.
We can laugh at our naive, your younger selves.
Oh, they really thought they did that, huh?
Yeah. So, Ruby, I'm excited to hear your wish list, because I know you have like a whole thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Do we want to start with the wish lists and see what we can manifest for 2021?
Go ahead and do that.
Okay, this doesn't come as news to anyone who knows me, but first and foremost, give me a Sailor Moon game. There's a VR experience that has the fully 3D rendered models of the girlies. It looks amazing. Give me a game. I'm thinking, ever since Naruto Ninja Storm on the PS3 happened, I saw a glorious anime open world game you can just like run around. You can Naruto run around his little village. And I thought, what if this was Tokyo? And what if instead of Naruto running, I was floating? I was with my sensible heel running on the roofs of Tokyo as Usagi or Sailor Venus or Jupiter or any of the girlies. What if I could say lesbian rights in Sailor Moon on my modern gen console? What if? What if it played like Genshin Impact, where it's like flashy action RPG? Can we please give the girlies what they want?
Yes.
If there can be 1,000 people in the room, no, that's not what I'm. If there can be 1,000 Dragon Ball games, there was a Captain Tsubasa game last year that came out, okay? Which I wanted to purchase because I kind of grew up with it, but I didn't because soccer. But regardless, if there can be a fairy tale game, if there can be a One Punch Man game, give us Sailor Moon. Give us what we want. Give us what we need. You know? That's all. No, that's not all actually. But that's but that's my main one. I'm like, if I get a Sailor Moon game, there's only a mobile game, by the way, for Sailor Moon. It's like Candy Crush. I'm like, it's cute, but it's not what I want. So there's that. Other games and other things that I want to manifest for 2021 is a new Pokemon. Give me a rumored remastered / remake. I don't care if it's a Let's Go situation. I don't care if it's a Gen 4 situation. I don't care. Give me a new Pokemon. At least new details. I guess technically that's not new, but you know what I mean. And I feel like that's doable because, you know, we just had a new game and they were like updating it last year. So I could see how they would like go back and forth and do kind of like a remastered now and then a new game in like a few years. So please, that would be great. I would love that. I don't think Final Fantasy 16 or Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 are going to happen in 2021. However, give me information. Give me a release date. If you can foresee a release date, you know? But I just want more info. Give me female characters for 16. I don't want an all-boys cast again. That was cute for 15, but not anymore. And last but not least, I want a Sonic game. Because they just had a big anniversary. And I didn't see any announcements for a new game. But the rumors are still over there. Is it going to be a Sonic Heroes remake? Is it going to be Sonic Adventure 3? Is it going to be Sonic the Hedgehog reboot? Give me. Give me all of it. I need a new Sonic. That's all. For wish lists, anyway.
Yeah. Mine's pretty like short and simple. You actually already touched on one of mine. Gen 4 remake.
Yeah.
Give me Gen 4 remake.
Yeah, there's always rumors that they're gonna do Diamond and Pearl remake.
I want Gen 4 remake so bad.
I would love that because I never played like anything that came out after Emerald up until Sword and Shield. I didn't play because I didn't have a DS or 3DS. So I would live for that. I would jump right in.
Oh my god, can you? Okay, this is really getting ahead of myself, but I know you didn't play Gen 5, so I'm like, this is gonna be totally lost on you. But can you imagine how incredible the Gen 5 remake is gonna be when that eventually happens?
Yes, I can. I certainly can. Yeah, I nod and smile.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like Gen 5.
Gen 5. Okay, the thing about Gen 5.
Which one was that? Was it black and white?
Black and white, and then black and white too.
Yeah. The thing about Gen 5 is I feel like Gen 5 was the first situation where they really got into like creating a 3D world in Pokemon. And I would love, the only thing that I didn't really like about Gen 5 was I felt like I was getting lost all the time in like the big cities.
Oh
and, like,
no.
and like sometimes the perspective would like rapidly shift, like when I went down a street or something. And I feel like that could be executed so much better on the Switch or whatever's coming next.
Yeah.
So I know that that's not this year, but this year I want to manifest the Gen 4 remake.
Hell yeah.
I want to manifest Breath of the Wild 2.
Ooh.
I want to manifest lots of cute Animal Crossing updates. I know there's going to be one later this month.
That's gonna happen. Yeah. That's.
I know, but I still am excited about it, and I want that.
Valid.
They already have like all of the kind of seasonal events planned, so I'm excited to see like what other kind of features, because I know like especially with Animal Crossing fans, like we're not always super excited about the big stuff. It's the little stuff that gets us. So I'm excited about like tiny like quality of life updates, or like tiny like new things that you can do, like I don't know, but like I'm just excited for all the cute stuff. I'm excited to see what the new Bunny Day is going to be like, because I feel like they may have done some changes to that since last year.
Surely they heard that everybody said it was cursed.
Yeah.
Surely they heard.
So I'm manifesting good things for Animal Crossing.
Yes.
And I think that's pretty much all for my wish list. What are you hoping for, Coca?
Oh boy. Let's see. Quite a few things here. I hope that we get word on Final Fantasy VII Remake coming to PC. I know in the box you put exclusively to PlayStation until March, end of March. We're getting pretty close. So April 1st, gonna get a release, right?
Oh,
Please?
that would be not April 1st, because nobody would believe, but April 2nd.
I'd believe. It's not like we haven't had cases where an April Fool's joke became an actual thing because everybody liked it.
KFC
True.
console.
Yeah. They're like Fighting EX Player is a perfect example of that. It was original. So we had Street Fighter EX, would have Street Fighter characters, then the characters from like the EX characters. And so for like April Fool's one day, they showed like a full trailer of like they was making a new game, and we're like, you can't do that. You have to make it, and we eventually got it. So speaking of fighting games, my wish list is all fighting games that come out this year to have rollback netcode. Please, I'm not going into that, but please, we just want to play online. Fix it, yeah, and fix the ones that are out if you can. But otherwise, if you release one in 2020 without it, I'm not giving it the time of day. Sega, I know you just announced, Yakuza coming more to PC, and I love you and you love me. I appreciate it. But can we get like the rest of the Persona series on PC, please? Yeah. Because I would like to play 5, and I mean 5 Royal, not the base 5, because I can play that one, but I'm not going to play both of these because these games are obnoxiously long. I haven't even finished 4 yet. But give us those. Bring Shin Megami Tensei 5 to PC, please, because that's definitely something I'm looking forward to this year.
We're talking about Sega. I know this is a lot, but can we manifest Bayonetta 3?
Ooh, yes.
Can we just manifest Bayonetta 3?
I think the last update was like, they were like, we're still working on it, I promise.
Keep going. Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, no problem. I wish a 3090 would end up in my PC. I mean, it costs too much, but I mean, I like for that to happen. My PC, my little war machine. I think that's the most I can think of right now of what I want. I'm pretty sure that I'm missing something. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't know. I would like for Forza Horizon 5 to come out this year.
There you go.
We don't know if that's happening because I know Forza Motorsport is supposed to be coming whenever, but we're like, so are we waiting for the next Forza Horizon to come out after that? Because the one 4 came out 2018. So I definitely would like a 5 to hit next gen consoles and PC, but we don't know yet. That might be it as for a wish list I can think of.
Yeah.
Oh, Nintendo, what's up with that 4K Switch?
Yes, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I was like, what happened to that? I mean, I know it's just mostly been a rumor, but like, that's what I'm waiting on, because otherwise I would have been bought a Switch again. Oh,
Yeah.
another thing I wish for is for this $600 stimulus to hit my account, because it has not.
Me neither. I'm like seeing people posting about getting theirs, and I'm just like checking, like
refreshing. Yeah.
Now I think I'm actually done.
What about anticipated 2021 releases? Stuff that is either rumored to come out this year, stuff that is confirmed / semi-confirmed to come out this year. I can also start, since I started the wish list one. I had to look this up because I'm terrible with time frames, and I always think it's gonna happen eventually. I never know like when it's actually gonna happen. And to be fair, we don't know if these games are actually gonna happen this year, if they are not gonna get delayed, if there's whatever. My first one is Resident Evil Village. This past year I fell in love with Resident Evil 2. I've played most of the games anyway, and I could easily play 3, 7, and then Village. I'm very curious what they do with that story, because they alluded to Chris potentially being a bad guy in Village, so I'm curious to see that dynamic of the protagonist Ethan from 7 and how they kind of interact. So I'm curious to see how that's going to go. I loved the original Ratchet and Clank. The reboot for Ratchet and Clank. So I'm excited for Rift Apart to come out. Jumping between dimensions and such should be interesting. Another one that I'm very, very, very excited is Balan Wonderworld. And it's that game that is, I think, published by Square Enix. And it's basically Sonic meets Knight, and it's basically like people who are responsible for both of those franchises kind of did a little like platformer moment, and the character designs look very much like they very much resemble Knight in that series. So I'm super excited. It looks adorable. All the little power-ups, all the little outfits. It definitely looks like a game that is completely up my alley. So I'm super excited about that. Digimon Survive is another one. It's supposed to be like a turn-based RPG within the Digimon universe. It was supposed to come out 2020. And it's expected to come out 2021. I haven't seen... I don't really hear a lot from that game, so I hope everything is okay over there. But it looks cute. I don't think it's going to be like revolutionary or the best Digimon game ever created. And I don't think it's going to make Game of the Year discussions. But I do like Digimon, and I have a soft spot for their games, so I certainly would like to play one, especially an RPG one. In other weeby shit, Scarlet Nexus, we've seen a little bit more of it in the Game Awards a few weeks ago. Time's a flat circle. I'm excited about that one. It looks weeby enough for me. And I would certainly love to play it. And my last one is Horizon Forbidden West. I didn't play the original Horizon yet, but it looks like I would enjoy the hell out of it. So I certainly want to play both. So those are mine for now as far as January goes. Of course, as the year goes by, there's a rumored state of play for this month, so obviously that's probably going to change a lot of predictions and a lot of excitement levels. So yeah, and depending on the time, we might do a reaction to it, depending on the time. So
we gotta figure out time zones and everything.
Times, yeah, a lot. Yeah. So those are mine. What about y'all?
Yeah, I actually have like a list pulled up of some I want to kind of talk about. Some of the ones
Yes.
that I was thinking about. I remember us. I think it might have been on your channel, Ruby, where we saw the trailer for Deathloop. It's about like you're an assassin and you're in a time loop and you have to take out like 8 other like people who are trying to get you.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a cool concept, and I think I might like to play that. Psychonauts 2. I recently played Psychonauts and I loved it.
Yes.
So I'm so excited about the sequel after so long. And I just think it's really cool that that's getting a sequel. Speaking of sequels that are coming after like a really long time, Square Enix is doing a sequel to The World Ends With You.
Oh yeah.
And I played that on the DS, like I want to say shortly after it came out, and I'm so excited to get a sequel on the Switch. New Pokemon Snap. I'm so excited for new Pokemon Snap.
Yes.
The new Ratchet and Clank game looks so cool.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the trailer for that, and I was just like, yeah. Stray, the game where you're a cat with a little backpack.
Of course.
Honestly, I don't know much about it, but just based on that trailer alone, I really want to play it.
Listen, if you can be a cat with a fierce backpack, can you really deny that?
I just want to be a cute little kitty with a backpack roaming around a city.
Yeah.
And that's my dream. So that's like some of the things that I'm anticipating for this year.
Yes.
What did you have for stuff for this year?
See, Back for Blood, which is made by the same people who made
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. I don't know what I'm about to say. Dead by Daylight. I don't know why.
Not that.
I blame y'all for this.
Oh no.
Valid.
Gotham Knights, which is I'm trying to think if it, I know it's in the same universe as Batman Arkham Knights, and you play as Batgirl, Robin, then the Red Hood and whatnot. Halo Infinite, if it comes out this year. Well, another thing is supposed to come out now fall of this year, so we'll see. The Medium, which is also coming to Game Pass as well. Monster Hunter Rise, I want to look into that, but although I think the PC version comes out, it comes out later than the Switch version, so I'll have to wait. Resident Evil Village, and please give this VR. Please give it VR on PC, because you didn't do that for 7. I don't know why. It's a missed opportunity, but please put them in VR. I would love that very much. I forgot this game hasn't came out yet. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach was supposed to be the next game. Supposed to come out on PlayStation 4, 5, and on PC. I hope that has VR, but I haven't heard nothing about it having that yet. Guilty Gear Strive, which is supposed to be coming out, I think, no later than April or May. I had never really got big into the Guilty Gear series. Like, I've always respected it because it's really good looking and it is fun to play. The netcode has always been bad. But this one is where they are going to add rollback netcode to it. So hopefully this one turns out, really good. I haven't had a chance to play the beta because they didn't put it on PC. Because when Street Fighter V had its beta, we kind of hacked it and played it after the beta session.
Well.
And then also King of Fighters 15, which they're supposed to be announcing something about that this upcoming week. They announced it, I think, last year, and we haven't heard anything except we saw a logo. That was it. But they're supposed to be having some announcements this upcoming week. So hopefully it comes out really soon. And that's all I can really think of game-wise that I'm looking forward to this year.
Yes. We have a lot of games coming out this year, especially, and I feel like games that we don't even know about that are coming, that are probably going to get announced as the year goes by. So I'm certainly very excited. As far as what we're playing right now, what have we been doing over the last week for our Just Playing Tingz segment?
Actually, Koki, do you want to start? Because you weren't on the podcast last week, so we missed out on what you've been playing for the couple weeks.
Yes.
So I'm still playing Yakuza Kiwami 2, but last night I started playing DJ Max Respect again. I do like playing it. I like playing games like rhythm games and things like that because it's fun, to play buttons, listen to music, and also discover new music. So they've had a sale for that, so I wanted to grab some of the DLC. So I played that like a lot. Of course, been playing Dokkan Battle because gotcha game and gotcha. But that's mostly it. Hold on, I played something for like a brief second and then I turned it back off. Hold on, Steam. Thank you for showing me my history. Oh, I played Avengers for like 1 hour and I uninstalled it again.
Ooh.
Like they had an update where they added Kate Bishop. But my problem with it still stands is this: we go to a mission and I'm fighting a bunch of robots again. I mean, It's nice that they added DLSS, which is deep learning super sampling, which that was nice to try out. But outside of that, I played it for an hour and uninstalled it again. It's just not that great for me.
That game was so tragic because I feel like from the beta it looked so promising, and it was like, surely the full game is not going to be as repetitive as this. Surely.
Like the story part of it is like it's okay, but when you get into like the multiplayer part, it's just looting and getting the best gear and doing the same thing over and over again. But it's, to me personally, just not as interesting when I get loot and you don't see that change on the character like that. It's not really that as interesting. You're still, you can get like the skins and whatnot, but if you're just trying to get like the highest strength, it's like, well, there's not much of an incentive for me to care about that except to keep doing it over and over and over and over again. And then like, so now there is like a new story that's there, but now the other problem again is still there, is I'm still fighting like the same type of enemies, and they might have changed their color or something. I'm not really that interested in that, so I don't know. For me, it's still just not worth me put much time into, because I can play it for maybe like a few minutes, but then I get bored. It's like there needs to be more variety in their enemies, and you have the Marvel universe and you give me these random robots.
Yeah.
Why? You could at least give me some scrolls.
I was gonna say, like, scrolls are right there. If you have to have like a generic enemy, like the Marvel universe already has that.
Right.
I want to share like a cute little gaming moment.
Yes.
So it was recently New Year's, and this year, since we have Animal Crossing New Horizons, like, and me and my partner have really gotten into that this year. Like, we're both share an island together, and we've been kind of like maintaining that together throughout the year, like almost a year that it's been out. So this year for New Year's, we celebrated it on our Animal Crossing island together.
Aww.
And it was just so nice because like especially like not being able to have like a New Year's party, like not being able to like really enjoy like getting everyone together and like having that like festivity of everything. Like, it didn't even really feel like New Year's until we booted up Animal Crossing, and like it was just such a sweet little moment because like we had all of our friends there that we'd met throughout the year, like all of our little Animal Crossing friends all in the plaza with their little glow sticks, and we just all counted down the New Year together.
That's so cute.
That's adorable.
It was so cute. It was such a good moment. And I definitely like, I want that to be like a New Year's tradition for us, definitely.
I love that.
I feel like that was like the perfect way to like say goodbye to 2020 with Animal Crossing and just like bring in 2021. Other than that, I haven't really been actually gaming that much this week, just because like I took a bit of a break from streaming last week for the holidays, and like I haven't really been like gaming off stream either. I've just been kind of resting. But I'm glad I got to have that cute little moment like with my partner on our island with everybody on the island celebrating New Year's together. So Ruby, what have you been up to?
I love that. I haven't really been up to anything much different. Yeah, on stream my rotation is continuing. I'm still playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, loving it so much. I just got Shiva. I love that game so much. Celeste has been so enjoyable as well. Like the themes of mental health and that entire journey is so sweet to like experience, and it's so rewarding when you finally get through those little parts where you're stuck in for like half an hour and you randomly do it sometimes and you're like, oh, I don't even know how I did that, but okay. I'll accept that as a victory. I'm like reaching the end of that, I think, so that's like really 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 nice. And last but not actually not last at all, I've also been playing Banjo-Kazooie. Very close to the ending of that one, finally. I have so many conflicted thoughts about it because it is cute, but it's also like so random sometimes. It's also so cursed sometimes. Um, it's just a combination of frustration and also like being like, wow, I did that. um, and thankfully, through the powers of modern technology, I don't have to repeat myself too much. I can just like load up and be like, oh, that didn't happen. Let's just try that again without having to climb this fucking tree all over again. Or restarting the whole level and having to get all the music notes and puzzle pieces all over again. So that's the only way I've been able to get through this game and not completely drop it. But last but not least, I have been enjoying, well, I've been playing the Genshin update. I can't say it's my favorite update just because the new event is very grindy. Like, there's 4 different acts to it. And you basically, in order for you to get the Primo Gems, in order for you to get, like, the different currencies, because when they have events, you usually collect a certain currency and you can use it on that limited time store to get, like, either good items or limited edition items and stuff like that. But I can't say that I'm like loving it because usually the thing about Genshin is that sometimes the events kind of pop up across the map and you do them in different locations, so there's different enemy types and stuff like that. But the new update centers around the new area, which is like this like mountain, snowy mountain. So I always have to have the same party. I love to switch around my party, but I always have to have my same 4 people because, you know, of type matches and type matchups and stuff like that. So I don't want to like switch around my team. So I'm trying to like do a little bit of the event, but also like trying to ascend my characters and stuff like that so I can at least change it around a little bit. But yeah, it's a little too repetitive for me. Although I really enjoy the gameplay of that game, sometimes it's like, oh my god, I'm still doing it. Oh, I have to do it 3,000 more times. I'm exaggerating. But I have to do this a lot more times in order to get all the Primo Gems. Yay.
Welcome to Gacha games. It has begun.
Oh, yeah. The interesting thing is, like, the game is usually not that grindy. It's usually like, oh, you do your things for the week, but it's usually a variety of tasks. But these ones, it's like, oh, it's the same thing over and over and over again. And I got Bennett, so that's nice. My little fiery boy. I got him twice, though, so, you know, yay, Constellation. But also, I haven't gotten the headliner of the banner yet, and I don't think I will. I keep calling him Alfredo. He's like Albedo, but I'm like, Alfredo. I want Alfredo. And that's probably why I haven't gotten him, to be honest. I've just
He doesn't want to come over because you get his name wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Very likely that that's the case. So yeah, there's that. But hopefully, I'll be able to finish 2 games this week. So by next podcast, I'll I'll probably not start something new, but I'll be excited about what's coming up. So I have some stuff that I really want to play from last year. God, that feels weird saying that. But stuff from last year, stuff from my backlog, retro stuff. I'm super, super excited for all the wonderful games that I'm going to get my hands on this year for sure. But yeah, let us know, everybody, what y'all have been playing, what y'all have been enjoying. Thank you so much for listening to this episode and for watching, of course, of Just Gaming Tingz Podcast. We are so excited for this year. We hope that as soon as possible we can get our affiliate status on Twitch so that we can, slowly but surely get our production quality to improve, and branding and all that stuff. So please do follow us on Twitch. We're at Just Gaming Tingz with a Z. Follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube. Because we also would love to get our custom URL. So tell a friend, subscribe to the channel. It's free. You get notifications when our podcasts are uploaded there in case you can't make it to the live streams. More live streams are coming in the future. We're going to be doing more games, unboxings, more podcast episodes, of course. Super, super excited for everything that is to come for 2021. And yeah, keep listening, keep watching. We'll see you next week. Stay safe, and bye.
Everyone for being here.
Bye bye.